From helmets to hard hats, it's a no-brainer that keeping your dome protected is a key part of personal protection. Hello, I'm Chris, and I'm from the maintenance department here at Gregg Distributors. Make sure to tighten your chin strap, because this time on Gear Up with Gregg's, we're going to dive headfirst into the world of MSA head protection. Established in 1914, MSA Safety is one of the global leaders in the development, manufacturing, and supply of safety products. MSA has proudly provided a range of industries such as mining, military, and petrochemical with the equipment they need in order to protect the people in our workforce. When people talk about head injuries, we immediately think of skull fractures or concussions caused by a traumatic event. And if you're one of those people, you would be right to think so. These are the two most serious injuries that can happen to your head. However, there are other types of injuries that we often forget to take into consideration, such as bruises and cuts from minor impacts, heat stroke, burns, electric shocks, and more. Yikes! Even minor injuries can cause complications, especially in the workforce. That is why it is so important to make sure your head is properly protected against any and all potential risks. Now, when you're looking at protective headwear, there are a few things that you should take into consideration. The level of protection you need for the application is the most important thing to consider before purchasing any type of headgear. The Canadian Standards Association, or CSA, has 3 classifications to describe hard hats according to their level of protection. The 3 levels are G, general usage, E, electrical trades, and C, conducting headwear. Each level of headgear also fits into a particular type category. Type 1, protection from impact and penetration at the crown, that's the top of the head. And Type 2, protection from impact and penetration at the crown and laterally, it's the sides and back. This means you can have a Class G Type 2, a Class E Type 1, or any other combination of protective headgear. If you only need to protect yourself against impacts and blows, Class G and C hard hats will likely offer enough protection. Class C hard hat shells are made of fiberglass, phenolic resin, polyester, polycarbonate, or textile laminates. They're designed primarily to resist impacts and punctures, therefore keeping you safe. However, Class C hard hats are not rated to provide any kind of protection from electricity. Much like Class C, Class G hard hats are often made of fiberglass, phenolic resin, polyester, polycarbonate, or textile laminates. However, they do have an advantage over Class C. Class G hard hats can resist voltages up to 2,200 volts and are recommended across almost all applications. That is because in almost every workplace, workers encounter low voltage electrical devices. On the other hand, Class E hard hats are not only designed to resist impacts and penetration, but also to provide some protection against electrical shocks from accidental contact with high voltage electrical conductors. Experimentally, these hats have been tested to resist up to 20,000 volts of ground connection. The shell is often made of high-density polyethylene or polycarbonate and has no holes and no fasteners. All the components that make up the suspension system provide electrical resistance, as it is made out of materials such as vinyl, leather, nylon, etc., so that the entire hat contains no metal parts. Class E hard hats are suitable for power line work, mining, forestry, construction, manufacturing plants, and public services. In short, they are intended for use anywhere there is a risk of exposure to active conductors or high voltage electrical loads. Gregg's offering of MSA hard hats are primarily the Class E variety. However, before we get into more details about the different kinds of headgear MSA offers, let's talk about the internal components first. Headwear consists of a shell and the suspension. The shell is the outer part of the hard hat that takes the majority of any impact, while the suspension is the internal components that keep the shell from touching your head, but also make sure to keep the hard hat on. These two components work together as a system, and both need regular inspection and maintenance. MSA has 3 offerings of suspension systems. First is the Fast Track 3 suspension. This system has a sweatband that fully covers both the headband and the worker's forehead. It also features 3 levels of nape strap adjustment for a customizable fit that will stay put even when bending over. This suspension system is recommended to be used in confined spaces or while welding, as the sweat-absorbing headband will help keep you cool. And with its smooth ratchet and secure hold, say goodbye to headwear slippage and pulled hair. Next is the Stays-On suspension. This suspension is easily adjustable and has been designed to provide essential clearance between the worker's head and the shell in order to absorb even more impact energy. That clearance space makes this suspension perfect for applications where impacts are the worker's key concern. It also features a headband, nape strap, cushion air sweatband, and adjustable crown straps in order to keep workers safe yet comfortable. Finally, there is the one-touch suspension. This suspension system has been designed to be completely adjustable with just one hand. With its easy squeeze opening and dual nylon straps, it remains comfortable yet stable to wear, making this the ideal suspension system for applications where hard hats must be easy to remove and put back on. Now, on to the hard hats. MSA has 4 offerings of protective headgear. This cap is a Class E Type 2 hard hat, which means it provides impact and penetration protection from both the sides and the crown. It also provides protection against contact with high voltage conductors. This cap is available in a variety of colors and with either the Fast Track 3 or one-touch suspension system. Next up is the V-Gard protective caps and hats. These protective caps and hats have a shell that is made of polyethylene and an option for either the Fast Track 3 or Stays-On suspension system. They are a Class E Type 1 rated protective headgear and are available in multiple colors and as a cap or full brim. Perfect for keeping the sun out of your eyes. Top Guard hard hats, just like the V-Gard caps, are also a Class E Type 1 hard hat and are also available in the cap or full brim style, with options in a variety of colors and either the Fast Track 3 or Stays-On suspension systems. These hard hats have been designed with the utility industry in mind. The high-impact resistant polycarbonate shell and uni-ridge design is ideal for any industry where protection from falling objects is a top priority. Now, plastic bump caps are not considered hard hats, nor do they meet the OSHA or ANSI requirements for head protection. But they are an honorable mention here, as they can provide some protection against minor abrasions and lacerations due to small bumps and knocks. Like when you're working underneath a vehicle and you want to be sure you won't accidentally scratch yourself or knock your forehead. These bump caps have been molded from high-density polyethylene, and they feature perforated sides, making these caps durable, lightweight, cool, and comfortable. Now that you know what MSA has to offer, here are some do's and don'ts of headwear usage. Do not transport headwear in the rear window of a vehicle, as heat and UV light can damage the material. Damage caused by UV radiation is easy to spot. The hat will lose its glossy finish and eventually take on a chalky appearance. Further degradation could cause the shell to actually start flaking away. Do always check with the manufacturer when adding or using accessories such as non-metallic stickers, decals, tape, bandanas, handkerchiefs, welder's caps, etc. Do not wear baseball caps or any non-manufacturer approved accessory under the headwear, as it interferes with the suspension and could make you a greater risk to head injury. Do wear the hard hat with the peak at the front. Some headgear can be reversible as indicated by the reverse donning symbol, but it must have the proper identification. If you're still not sure if a piece of equipment can be reversed, check with the manufacturer to ensure your safety. Do be cautious when using insect repellents or any other chemicals, as they can degrade the headwear's material, rendering it more susceptible to being damaged or becoming unsafe for use. Do inspect headwear for signs of dents, cracks, penetration, and any damage due to impact, rough treatment, or wear before each use. A helmet with worn, damaged, or defective parts should be removed from service and replaced. With all this information in mind, don't forget that MSA also offers some hard hat accessories in the form of visors, visor frames, and helmet-mounted hearing protection. And if you ever need to replace the sweatband in your hard hat, we have comfort bands, terry cloth sweatbands, which are easily washable, so you can cut down on waste. If you need any other head protection accessories, like Ergodyne's Squid Hard Hat lanyards, you can check out the video in the description below. Or if you have any questions, you can leave us a comment, give us a call, or visit our website at greggdistributors.ca. Again, I'm Chris, and thank you for subscribing to our Canadian content here on Gear Up with Greggs.